What's up, guys? So today we are at the pick and pull. I'm with one of my buddies, Joey, and we're going to be pulling a differential out of this 325i here, and so it's a little banged up, as you can see. But yeah, so we're going to just figure out is Junkyard's really worth it for parts. I need a 391 for my drift car anyways, so I'm just going to be pulling that and hopefully welding it and putting it in my drift car. So yeah. So the first couple things you got to do before pulling the diff is you got to take these sway bar bolts out, and then you got to get the let's see if you can see it, but the drive shaft bolts out. That's the only thing that's going to be blocking you from actually pulling out the diff, and then should be good to drop it. So right now I'm loosening the sway bar bolts. So what you got to do is you just got to put a 13 mil on this side, 13 mil on that side, and loosen away. And the reason why I'm doing this is so it gives me more clearance to the diff bolts, so I can actually get it off. Alrighty, the next step is to remove the axle bolts. So you're going to need an E12, and I just have a 3/8 ratchet. And then so basically you're going to go and loosen these right here, and then got to put it in neutral, and then spin it, put it back in gear, and then rinse and repeat.
The biggest thing when doing these bolts at any parts dismantler, pick and pull, Plain Auto, or wherever, is to do it by hand. These things will strip, they will fuck you. I've gotten so close to pulling so many diffs and axles, and it's the last one that strips on me every time. So please, if you do this, make sure you do them by hand.
Alright, so now that all the bolts are cracked and loosened, which is actually the scariest part, AJ's under there with the electric ratchet right now. It'll work.
So now I gotta just disconnect 3 more bolts because I just got the drive shaft bolts off. So then yeah, I'll just drop out.
Alright, so a huge thing on these cars is the front bolt that AJ is pulling right now, 18. They always snap. They always snap. The best thing to do, when you're driving, he's all worried now that it's gonna go kaboom.
So the front bolt on the differential is kind of always an issue. So you usually do essentially like a long bolt conversion, and that helps out with it a lot so it won't snap while you're driving.
Basically all that he's saying is these are like M12s, M10s. You can drill them out to M14s, which is the smartest thing to do, because if you put any bearing load, pressure, or anything on them, they will snap. I've had so many snap on me, I converted them. So just try to convert them when you can, and then run a diff brace if you can.
Yeah, so these are the last 2 bolts right here. It's just the last 2 things that are holding this into the subframe, and I'm getting those out right now. These ones are pretty loose, concerningly. Yeah, so we got the diff out with some wiggling and some persuasion. So now all we got to do is just crack open these bolts to see if it's an LSD or an open diff. Let's hope it's an open. So, slight issue, we overlooked it. That thing's cracked like a motherfucker. So we have another faceplate at home, but you know, that could have led to other issues, so we will see. It is an LSD, which is kind of money because that's worth a decent amount. So if anyone wants a pretty mint LSD, you know, it's up for sale. So yeah, unfortunately this is not what I need for the drift car though, but you know, it'll work for someone else. So the question at the beginning of the video was, is going to the junkyard for parts worth it? And in my opinion, 100%. If you're building a car on a budget and you need some smaller parts and maybe some exhaust pieces, it is 100% worth it. I mean, it's not going to be 100% every time. You know, you might get some busted parts every now and then, but you know, you can just return them. So today we got the differential, and then we also got what I needed very badly, an exhaust for my car. It sounds like a tractor right now. Yeah. That alone saves me at least $200 to $300. For me to get it done in a shop or even try to do it myself, it'd still be a lot more expensive. So that definitely saves me some money, and that differential I can definitely sell and flip it into a differential that I need. So yes, going to the junkyard for parts is 100% worth it. It saved me so much time with like shipping costs and just cost of parts nowadays in general, especially on e-chassis. Prices are starting to go up, and the rarity is also starting to go up on certain parts. So definitely, if you're looking for some parts that you need, for maybe an old car, or just if you want cheap ones, definitely go to the Junkyard first. See if you can find a dime, you know. It's 100% worth it. But that pretty much wraps up today's video. There is going to be a part 2 to this one of us cleaning up the differential, putting a new faceplate on it, painting it to protect it from rust, and stuff like that. So definitely stay tuned for part 2. But other than that, that's it for today, and I'll see you in the next one.